Hi everyone, I'm going to show you a couple, well actually this is just going to be one example for your first question on your Google form, looking at the hundredths place on the place value chart and talking about decimals. So yesterday, I wish I had found this chart before, it's really cool. Yesterday we talked about the tenths, okay? So that is a square broken up into 10 pieces, and we would show it like this as a fraction 1/10. But we were showing it as 0.1 as a decimal. Here's our decimal point here on our place value chart. It separates the whole numbers from the decimal numbers or the fractions. And today we're going to look at the hundredths a little closer here in a minute. But I just wanted to go backwards a little bit and talk about the ones and the tens too. It could keep going, but they stopped at tens here. So the ones place, which is one whole of something, is before the decimal place, and we've learned to use a cube for it. It's written like this, 1, and they put it in fraction form also, 1/1 equals 1 whole, okay? And then they're showing you that it would be worth, could be worth $1 whole. I'm not going to talk about the tens place because the dollar helps me a little bit with these tenths and hundredths. So what they're doing here is they're showing me that 1/10 or one piece of this square can be written like this as a decimal, 1/10, and it's worth a tenth of $1. So you need 10 of these dimes to make up $1. And that's why there's a 10 on the denominator. All right, so let's look at our hundredths, and then I'll show you this example over here for your question on your Google form. So this, I know it's tiny, but here's a bigger one here. So in the hundredths place, okay, to the right of the decimal, you're talking about a square that is broken up into 100 pieces, okay? So the fraction looks like this, 1/100th, okay? So that would be, if one of those teeny tiny squares in there was colored in, you would write that fraction as 1/100, 1/100ths, okay? And the fraction is, or sorry, the decimal is written like this, all right? So there's 0 wholes, and there is 0/10ths, and then there is 1 in the hundredths place. So that looks like, I want to put it in there for you so you can see what it looks like. 0, there's nothing in the ones place, there's nothing in the tens place, but there's 1/100th, okay? If it was colored in, like if one of these little dots or one of these little squares was colored in here. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of those, and we're going to look at the example to the right. Uh-oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Gotta go slower, guys. Didn't realize it was going to erase the whole chart on me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at this hundredths over here, okay? So this square was broken into 100 pieces. There's 10 in each tower, okay? We learned about 10's tower. So there's 10 in this tower, there's 10 in this tower, there's 10 in this tower. So if you count them all, there's 100 altogether. We're only going to look at the green right now. So I have 10 right here. This is a 10's tower. And then I'm going to say 11, okay, because this is just a ones cube right here. 11, 12. Okay. So I have 12 out of the 100 colored in green. So when I write that as a fraction, sorry, as a decimal, I gotta get used to saying decimal now. When I write this as a decimal, it's gonna look like there's no whole, okay? If there was, this whole square would be colored in, and it's not, only part of it is. So there's no whole. There's 1/10, okay, because there's 1/10th tower. And then there's 2 hundredths, okay? So how you read this is 12, and then you say hundredths, okay?